You know, like this Indian fellow, this teacher, he has a bunch of students, and one of the students stole, you know, in the good old days, a pen, and he reported a teacher, and then the teacher said, "Oh, it's terrible, stealing's not good. Whoever stole it, stand up, you're going to go to hell," etc. No. And then nobody said anything. And you get angrier, angrier, and then this boy finally stood up, saying, "He can't stand it anymore." He said, "Your son stole it. Your son." And the teacher said, "Oh, in that case, it's all right." I mean, it's funny. That's how we do. We do. We're not that. In fact, we are that teacher ourselves. We do. What the point is being said is being said here is saying we are defining what is big and what is small. We are defining. Is there a big and a small? Yes. But who makes it? We make it. We make it big. And some are very obvious, like their teacher, such a big deal, and then all of a sudden it's nothing. Yeah, it's true. One time I was walking and somebody came from blue and grabbed my back and ran. And for a split second I said, "It's finished." And I realized that some friend of mine is doing this. You know, it's how our mind can define. Is that right? So in other words, I think we are stuck. We don't go beyond that. That's why we suffer. That's why we have great pain, little pains, small pain, acceptable pains, not acceptable pains, acceptable things or behaviors, not acceptable. You know, these are all subjectively defined. Of course, supported by our society, saying if this much happened, then you should not accept, or something like that. And we have our own making of what is what. Yet, for over countless years of eons, I have been cut, stabbed, burned, and flayed alive innumerable times. But I have not awakened. Yet the suffering involved in my awakening will have a limit. It's like the suffering of having an incision made in order to move. Okay, we have read that. Meaning, what these verses saying that when you are trying to overcome major issues, difficulties, problems, sufferings, then you must expect minor problems. They are bearable, that's acceptable. Of course, Buddha will never teach something we cannot do. It's going to be contradictory. That's the beauty of the Dharma teaching. They're never saying what you cannot do. They always says, they always imply, whether they verbally say it or not, whether it's directly taught them. It is understood as a fundamental law that you are taught, I'm taught, we're taught, we are implied that we must do things based on things we can do. It's just kind of obvious. Who in the right frame of mind will tell others to do if it's not doable? Is that right? What we're saying is that there are pain and suffering. It's going to be there. But having said that, those pain and suffering are bearable, acceptable, controllable. We can manipulate it, we can change it, we can actually handle it. So in other words, that's the beauty of the Buddha's teaching, is that we only work with what we can do. The things that seems to be impossible to do, like birds and the flies, insects and mosquitoes, how in the world they are going to be ever enlightened? Well, it says that. In fact, the hardship, to make the hardship difficult, or make things that seems hard easy, is not working with hardship directly, but we're working with what we already know and able, and that will automatically kind of simplify what we're supposed to work that we thought was hard and impossible. So the impossible things themselves are approached by doing the possible things. I'm about to fall asleep, is that right?
What do the Haitians do? I mean, for example, these people that are, how do they deal with their terrible situation? Is that a situation where they can't?
I think they don't have a luxury of like this. We just, I think we're sympathizing. We have a luxury. We literally live like heaven, to tell the truth. To sympathize with them our way is not going to be possible. But there is something they can do. They can lighten up a little bit. Sure, of course. It's not the Haitians, not the Tibetans, and everybody go through that. That's the Dharma teaching. We must teach ourselves. Nobody is guaranteed and safe and sound forever. Everybody's it's like Haitian. All right. So I'm not dismissing their pain and suffering. You can't. But we also, whether we are going through the pain, like in Haiti, or whether we're having a good time like this, we're in the same boat. We must learn. We cannot say, right now I'm miserable, let me cry. Let me postpone my happiness for the time. And we do that, but that's not right. Lamapema, don't call me, I'm not happy today. Today I have a retreat on misery. When it's over, then we'll talk. All right? That's how it sounds like. Certainly, we must pray and we think good thoughts. People will help, and a lot of people will help. I don't think it's enough there. But
what did you say after think good thoughts? What did you say about people? I didn't hear that.
People are helping.
No, just that there are people, a lot of people help.
Oh, and
And also, I know this probably is not enough.
Yeah.
There's so much, so much. Prayer will help, and they don't have the luxury of Dharma. Yeah, I'm sure they have their own faith that will help a little bit. I don't know what's your question. Why I'm answering your question, I don't know, but this is just an idea related to what you said. So I think what he's saying is that unpleasant things can happen, especially when you're doing good things. That's okay. That's fun. This is normal. It's true. It happens. When you're trying to be nice, people are not nice to you. They are not grateful. They are not thankful. And that's the big issues. And we get lost. We get self-defeated. We think we're smart. Actually, we are completely fooled by our own stupidness. So we think that you have to be, when you are kind and nice, all of a sudden everybody's supposed to be kind and nice to us and thanking us.
It's true.
And if you do a good deed and they don't thank you, you're finished. Your good deed is that these people are ungrateful. No, we do that. I do. I've seen a lot of them. They just can't stand when people don't thank them when they do. Is that right? It's another way of saying that we cannot stand a little less discomfort when you're doing the good things. I mean, this is pointing out. So discomfort is okay. Displeasure is okay. Disrespectful is okay. Ungratefulness is okay. I know I do the same thing. I'm here teaching you, but I think I know a little bit. Occasionally I do practice. It works. It really works. It's okay. It's fine. If they're ungrateful, it's fine. The key is they need help, and you want to help, and you know helping is good. But of course, our stupid ego will not allow that. But if you bring intelligence and wisdom, you can push, nudge the ego on the side, and you just work with yourself. I think our own fear of discomfort, inconveniences, disrespect, or doing what we do is a major harm, distraction, or what do you call obstructions in doing good deeds. The second time you see pass through this, you're not going to. You don't feel like you want to help this person. Last time I did, they don't care. Is that right? Mm-hmm. And that is a sign and symptom of our own inability to accept a little inconvenience in doing the good things. What is being said is that if you're able to accept the inconvenience, little inconvenience like that, you will be able to accept the greater inconvenience at the same time. Almost as if so-called great or small as you're asking, you can equate it to a point that there are, one is not, another, on one hand is not a big deal. And that big deal can be equated to no big deal. All right? There is a way that we can learn to accomplish, to achieve that. Besides, to repeat, that big deal things, we are the one who jacking up the value of misery. Is that right? We're saying, it's almost like Wall Street, the stock market. It's almost whimsical. Now you decide it's so important or so horrible. Now next time it's not important, not horrible. Have you done that kind of thing? No. Who have done this? Yeah, we do that. Yeah.
I had the whole day dealing with this exactly. Like, I keep doing nice things for someone I feel uncomfortable with. And I kept saying to myself, that's the last time I'm going to do that for her today. I'm not holding the bus tomorrow. I don't care. She never says thank you. I left early today because I was uncomfortable. And I was like, that's it. I've had enough. I'm not being nice anymore. And then I was coming here.
I think for most people it takes constant, like constantly working on these perspectives of priorities and just the bigger picture in your life. And very few people are just nice like that all the time without work.
Yeah, I think what is being said here is a little angle. It's not a big deal. You don't have to suffer that much in such a big deal. What Buddha is saying, you don't have it. You learn it a little bit. You look at it in a precision. You see exactly how it works. You yourself will see it's pointless doing these kind of meaningless. Yeah, that's the key. It's not so much saying there's something very profoundly to be understood, and then you have to work so hard, and then you eventually get the idea, and eventually practice. Actually, it's very simple. If there is any profundity in it, it is in this simplicity. And of course, we have to always watch our stuff. So putting up a little discomfort for such a great purpose and meaning and benefit is almost going to be natural. On the one hand, you see the lack of importance in these stupid reasons, reasons why we don't do these things. On the other hand, it also helps us to see the value of those things. In other words, either way, whichever way you see it, you will be able to kind of balance it out with others. In other words, if you see the value of whatever you're supposed to work with, then you naturally accept the inconveniences. Or if you're able to naturally overcome the inconveniences, then you see the value of